Hello YouTube, my name is Fag. Welcome to my channel. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And here we go. It's called She Tried to Cancel Asmongold and the Backfired Horribly. I'm not sure who Rev is missing here. I guess we'll find out. I like to know who's after Asmon now, but at least big enough for Rev to get involved. I like watching Rev, so here we go.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we have some more drama to cover because why not? If you've been paying attention to the
Alright, let's
channel
go
over the
Rev.
past month or so, there's been a never-ending stream of drama, and one of the participants in this focus of drama has been the Rat King himself, Asmongold,
Red King, I thought he was a Roach King. Oh well.
who once again finds himself the target of a bunch of different, well, usual suspects who are trying to accuse him of many crazy things. Now, what did he do this time? Well, recently Asmongold made a take on Twitch and the very big PR crisis they're currently facing thanks to a lot of political streamers who are saying out-of-pocket stuff.
I know he's going to talk about here. I'm not sure if he's going to talk about Frogan. He's going to talk about, Hassan and those guys. Yeah. Let's see what they have to say this time.
And in this clip we're going to watch, Asmongold is aware enough, self-aware enough, to understand that he is a part of this network of content creators who are pushing a lot of PR nightmares onto Twitch, and notice that he names certain individuals that will be relevant for the rest of this video. So here's the clip.
Alright, Adam's not afraid to speak his mind. He's really not. That's one of the things I like about watching Admin. I can't help but watch him all the time. I don't agree with everything he says. But you gotta respect the man for speaking his mind and sticking by what he says. So, let's see what he calls out.
Again, make sure you recognize names because it will be relevant in just a second.
That's what I would do. If I wanted to optimize ad revenue, you know what I would do? I'd ban politics.
And there you go. That's probably the big thing that a lot of people are pissed off about. Especially the one that take it too far, like this person here, and this one, and this one. Right? And he's absolutely right. You get rid of politics on Twitch, things would be a whole lot better. Because politics, no matter how you're trying to counter politics, right, you just say absolutely neutral. That's always going to be a dividing factor, no matter what you do with it. I don't care if you're covering left, right, center, it don't matter. You're always going to make somebody mad. You're always going to, it's just one of those things that's divisive that, to me, shouldn't be on a stream platform. Especially not one sitting around games and having a good time, you know what I mean?
That's what I'd do. Just ban it. The odds are that me and Hassan and Tectone and Frogan and Denims and Central Committee cause...
Now, I had no idea who Central Committee is. That's the first time I ever heard him mentioned.
90% of the PR problems on the entire website. That is crazy.
Pretty fair take if you ask me, but of course one of the people named in that discussion is Frogan.
And I agree with Rev on this. That is a pretty fair take. I agree with Adam 100% on that one. Let's see what Frogan has to say, shall we?
Yes, the very controversial Hassan Orbiter, who had a lot to say about this clip. So, someone on Twitter shared a clip of what we just watched through Dexerto here, and Frogan would quote tweet that saying, "You consider me political because I wear a hijab. I am not like you, and I do not make political content anywhere but typing a tweet once in a while."
Alright, she just outright lying here. We all know she's lying. She's trying to gaslight people. Right. And because of all this stuff going on, a lot of bigger content creators are now multi-streaming. It's like Advent now multi-streams on Kick, YouTube, Twitch, and I think X. Tectone just came out today, so he's gonna be doing the same thing. Yeah. So it's not just controversy, it's actually happening. And stuff like this, because Twitch allows it, right, is what's bringing the platform down. Everybody knows it. But the higher ups don't want to face up to it.
Very rich coming from Frogan of all people, who is an extremely political content creator, now trying to act like
Yes, she is.
they don't do any
Yes,
of that
she is.
stuff. They're above it. They don't participate in anything political. And Asmongold is clearly, by her definition, some racist, some bigot who's only going after her because she wears a hijab. Once again, for the 1000th time, people like Frogan are trying to use their religion as a shield to deflect any criticism that they're facing for the.
This has nothing to do with her religion, right? This is 100% her political views, stuff she said on Twitch that her ex followers might not even know about, right? Like that 9/11 cake with a plane crashing into for that stupid subathon. That's just disgusting. And as an American, I take offense to stuff like that. But that's just me.
Many ridiculous and, yes, political things that they have stated over the past couple of years of their streaming career. And Asmongold would have a response to this, ratioing her in this tweet and the series of tweets.
And there it is. That's just some of the stuff she's done live on Twitch. Yeah. And have you ever noticed that people like that project that onto other people? Just like Hassan is projecting onto Nux. You know what I mean? Oh, speaking of Nux, did you guys see yesterday where Nux dropped a video saying he's suing Hassan for defamation? I hope he wins. I really do. Anyway, back to this. This is only just a few of the things she's done. And some of these she's been banned for, like that racial tier list. That whole crew got a ban for that. I think it was what, like a week long, maybe? Yeah.
We get so much traction, 40,000 likes on Frogan's tweet and 60,000 likes on Asmongold's response saying this: "Don't try to use your hijab as a shield for your disgusting behavior. American soldiers deserve PTSD, Arab/Jew racial tier list, sub goal to make a 9/11 cake, called October 7th mass murders a revolution. Those are PR problems. Obviously, your religion isn't the problem. You are." And that is
very true. That is so true. But people want to make it about religion or race or whatever else when it's actually the political stance they're taking that's making everybody divided and whatnot.
very well said. Of course, there's a reason I gave this a like, because he really summed up everything Frogan's about very quickly. Not only someone who uses her religion as a shield for criticism, but also someone who has said very political and outrageous things. Everything shared right here is true. These things happened. And that's what Frogan is most well known for. And that's just, part of the controversies she's been a part of. But of course, people would have very normal responses to this, like this weirdo saying Arab/Jew racial tier list, and then calls Asmongold a mom-murdering cockroach man, still pushing the.
Wow. Wow. They're really going after the death of his mother like that. Oh my god. That is low. You can't get much lower than that. That is disgusting.
Line that not liking Sabra hummus is racist against Jews. So besides the disgusting comment about Asmongold's now deceased mother, This is a very ridiculous cop out about the Sabra hummus stuff. This is a tier list that was made, very clearly made, with Jews being in the F tier and Arabs being in the S tier, ranking people by their race. It's very obvious, and you can see people weaponizing the community notes. This is a proposed note saying this: the claim that Frogan created an Arab/Jew tier list is unfounded. The tier list reference was the Who Has the Habibi Pass live panel section at TwitchCon, which has repeatedly been mischaracterized. Both Jews and non-Jews appear on various...
I don't care how she tried to phrase it. It's still racist. It's 100% racist. And one thing I would like to say is, Adam, I'm sorry for your loss, and I'm sorry they're trying to drag your mom's name through the mud like that. Don't fall for it. Be better than them. That's all I can say about that. But this, I don't care how they're trying to phrase it, it's still racist. 100%. Saying who has a right to use a certain phrase is racist. I don't care what they say.
Various levels of the list. That's not true. That's not true at all. And also, this note is ridiculous. It's argumentative. This is not the point of community notes, okay? It's not for you to make an argument in the actual note itself. You take these to the reply section. And on top of that, let's keep in mind, this Twitch panel that was so disastrous for Twitch, Chevron and other sponsors, they left.
Yeah. And many people view that as the start of a new hat apocalypse. Which is potentially true.
Twitch entirely because of the backlash of this panel that they unintentionally sponsored. They were slapped on there as a label as they were going through the list. And again, let's revisit the actual video and subsequent tier list.
Yeah, look who's on top. Hassan's little side piece put him on top. She put herself right under him. Notice that?
That Frogan posted. This was her own thumbnail promoting the video from that TwitchCon events, where of course you can see she puts Arabs in a higher portion of the list and then puts Jews in the F tier. Very clear message, especially when you consider the fact that Ben Shapiro is put down there in the F tier despite...
You know, I'm kind of surprised they didn't put Nux down here instead of Ben Shapiro. That'd been funny. Watching Nux go after him for that. That'd been hilarious.
Not even being a part of the event. He was not included in the rankings. She just tossed him in here for the sake of this thumbnail to really hammer home that the Jews are in the F tier. Completely ridiculous. And Frogan would have the nerve to respond by saying this to Asmongold's reply. You thinking a tier list about who can use the Arabic word for my love is political is exactly the point I'm making. I don't really know what point you're making at this point. It's desperation. And of course, people would point out very clearly that Frogan has said stuff like this in the past, saying, I'm not going to put my beliefs aside. Everything is political. Every single thing. If you are not open to learning and changing your beliefs, I am done with you.
And there it is. She just called herself out for trying to gaslight her own audience earlier. I love it when they slam themselves like that. At the very least, even if you don't consider it political, that list is still racist. And I've said before and I'll say it again, racism should not be anywhere in a modern society. We as a society should have moved past that a long time ago. Yeah, I know, right, Spike? It's like they love shooting themselves in the foot. Especially they're trying to gaslight their own audience.
So the person who says everything is political is suddenly not political when she's being criticized for being political. How convenient. But anyways, this would be another angle of this drama where, of course, Hassan Piker would weigh in. He didn't like seeing his orbiters being attacked, so he would weigh in as well here, saying that basically this entire clip where Asmongold talks about Twitch and how they should ban certain realms of politics would optimize ad revenue, and he has a very big problem with that and says that he's not a controversial person. Asmongold is, and even threatens to sick his friends in the journalism scene on Asmongold. This is
Wow. Hassan is promoting harassment against another streamer. That should be against the TOS of any platform, I believe, especially Twitch. I don't think Twitch tolerates harassment, or not supposed to. But we all know from past experience that Twitch favors Hassan, and they won't do anything about it unless they're forced to. So,
this is Rich. Go ahead and watch this clip.
Problems that are caused for the entire website is never actually covered by real PR, and it's just the sweatiest fucking losers on Twitter that get mad, and then those sweatiest losers on Twitter will then try to get like actual outlets to cover it. Like, hey, why won't CNN cover this? Why is CNN covering Hassan positively? Like, these guys don't understand. Most people in mainstream media don't know who the fuck.
from what I've seen, when the news agencies do cover Hassan, it's not positive. Have you ever looked it up? It's like the top 10 searches are not positive at all. Now, Adam, on the other hand, if you ever look him up, that's the total opposite. So, I don't know who you're trying to gaslight here, but yeah.
Asmongold is. Don't know who the fuck Tectone is. Don't know who the fuck Frogan is. Denims is. Central Committee is. They barely know who the fuck I am. Okay? And the ones who know who the fuck I am in mainstream media obviously understand that, like, I'm a controversial figure, but ultimately a force for good, a force for progressive politics.
A force for good. Promoting terrorism is not a force for good. I'm sorry. Any state that has had to deal with terrorism would agree 100% that promoting terrorism does nobody any good.
We are lucky that mainstream media does not know who the fuck Asmongold is. If I wanted to destroy Twitter, I would literally go to every single one of my journalist friends and be like, hey, cover Asmongold. Cover how cover.
Oh, I would love to see him banned off Twitch. That would greatly improve the platform. Him and his little groupies all preaching the same thing.
How Twitch is allowing Asmongold to run rampant, to run his fucking dirty ass dick all up and down the goddamn platform, saying the most insane shit. But I'm not like Asmongold. I don't want this fucking platform to perish because I'm selfish. Okay?
Right, his dad fighting his own audience.
That's
again.
what he's been doing, though. He has been actively trying to get all of these other people to cover Twitch in a negative fashion. It hasn't worked because most people don't know who the fuck Asmongold is. Thank God.
I'm sorry, but I think more people know who Asmongold is as opposed to Son. And I don't think it's that Adam wants to portray Twitch in negative light. I think Adam wants things to change. Maybe. Nah, who's to say for sure, really? Might think it'd be a better place without all the politics. I really do. I agree with that. Very first stated right off the bat.
Okay? But he's aligned with people who are actively trying to send tens of thousands of emails to the likes of like CNN, NBC, MSNBC, who are working, Dan Stalkman is the guy I'm talking about, who are working in unison with the Anti-Defamation League, also known as the Apartheid Defense League, to try and get all fucking advertisers to remove ads from the platform. Why? Because I'm still on the fucking platform. They are actively trying to make this a PR issue while simultaneously turning around and being like, We should ban politics, actually. It's just a real PR issue. Yeah.
I think the funniest part about that entire clip is that Hassan Piker acts like Asmongold is not relevant. He tries to say that nobody knows who Asmongold is, despite the fact that Hassan himself for the past week has been eternally seething over this information right here, where it turns out that Asmongold is one of the top 10 most searched YouTube terms on the entire site. And Hassan had a meltdown over that. He was coping, he was seething, he was very jealous about this fact. And keep in mind, Hassan Piker, his name is not even in the top 100. So that really
That's great. You're right, Spike. Hassan is 100% full of himself. He got himself stuck in his own little echo box.
goes to show you a lot of common people do know who Asmongold is. In fact, they know Asmongold more than Hassan, and that should be obvious by the streaming numbers itself, right? Like, Asmongold's getting almost double what Hassan Piker gets. Hassan used to be the top political streamer, now he's been overtaken by Asmongold. And he can seethe about this, he can call him a roach, a cockroach, say his room is dirty, all these things, but at the end of the day, people identify more with him than they do with you, and what does that say about someone who's seething about that fact? I don't really know. There's no self-awareness whatsoever. But of course, Hassan would go further and call out Asmongold for bringing hate to Twitch. Yes, he even said he creates a dangerous environment for trans people, every different kind of background, promoting the Trump administration, bringing it to a private Twitch space. Listen to this.
Now, what pain has Asmon caused, though, to be honest? What do you mean? He's the largest political content creator, and he has created a dangerous environment for trans people, for people of every...
Same here. Hassan just heard that Adam passed him as a top political streamer. But Adam's not even trying to be a political streamer. He didn't even advertise himself as one. As opposed to him.
different kind of background. He actively is promoting the Trump administration and bringing it here to a private space like Twitch and normalizing that kind of discourse, normalizing that kind of sentiment in the same exact ways that I have normalized, I guess, progressive values. Except my normalization of progressive values does not actually end up causing harm to others. You know what I mean? Unless you are a fucking fascist. In which case, yeah, okay. That's fine.
Yeah, he needed to get some help. Especially being in America, promoting terrorism. He really needs some help.
Asma recently attacked the trans streamer over a 7-second clip, causing other people to pile on. Yeah, I mean, I'm a fairly large content creator, so it doesn't really bother me as much. Fascists love you. Get the fuck out of here. Point to one singular fascist who has ever said anything positive about me. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, I think anyone...
Well, how about that, known terrorist head on their stream, Hassan? There's one.
who's halfway reasonable is looking at the stuff and understands how ridiculous Hassan Piker is and how lacking in self-awareness he is. But he was not the only one seething over Asmongold. This is a very weird situation involving the musician Baby No Money. Now, this is someone I've listened to. I enjoy some of his music, but he has been really hyper-focused on Twitter culture, okay? This guy wakes up, and his priority recently has been...
Now, I heard something about him. I think he did a music video with Asmongold did it. And he ended up editing him out or something like that. In fact, a popular streamer I know calls him, what, Baby No Balls? Or whatever it is. So, pretty accurate description, I think.
And appealing to people on Twitter. I don't understand what's going on with this guy, but clearly he is fixating very heavily on appealing to the average Twitter freak. Okay, and he's made many self-serving, virtue signaling type tweets. I mean, this is like the average stuff you see. Very stunning, very brave. This definitely goes hard if you're a 14-year-old who's terminally online. Like, this is very brave from him. But recently, he came out with a new music video for a song called Mary Poppins, where he shared this as well. Spread love and positivity.
I think this might be a video.
And in the caption of this clip right here, it says, "At the time of recording, I was unaware of certain individuals' ethical beliefs. As a result, I've chosen to censor those whose values I do not support. Additionally, all funds generated by this video will be donated to the PCRF." Okay, so who's he talking about? Asmongold. Yep.
Yeah, there it is. There's Asmongold. You wanna know something great about this? His fan base on, I think, Reddit has actually changed their profile picture to this. I think that's funny. I love Adam's stance on this. Hopefully we'll get into that.
He censored Asmongold in this music video where apparently OTK was featured, and this was recorded some time ago, I believe like a year or two ago, was apparently when this was recorded for this music video. But you can see the only person in this shot that is censored is Asmongold, who's sitting right here, front and center, and he put a little lizard mask on him, I guess.
No, that's not a wizard mask. That is a Murloc mask. They probably did that because Asmongold, when he first started out, was a big WoW streamer. That's probably why they chose the Murloc head.
This is very weird because when you do stuff like this, when you say this person's beliefs are so bad that I have to censor them, you're essentially saying everyone else in this shot, I agree with what they're saying. I don't have a problem with what they're saying. And that's a pretty crazy thing to say and a pretty big thing to sign on to. On top of that, it's like, dude, if this was such a big deal to you, if you thought this was so offensive, why didn't you just reshoot the video? You kept this guy in there. You kept Asmongold in the video. You made him the main character of this video. Yeah. Make no mistake whatsoever. Baby No Money made Asmongold the main character of this music video. He made this a way bigger controversy than it ever would have been if he just left him in the video uncensored. But no, he has to impress a bunch of wackadoos on Twitter, so he censors Asmongold's face and includes him in basically the entirety of the video. It's just weird. It's really pathetic. Like, baby no spine, right? Baby no backbone.
Baby no balls. Alright, that was the best.
Many different iterations of that you can make, but this guy clearly backed down. And also, oh, you don't believe with the ethical statements this guy has made? Well,
even Rev's in disbelief. You see that? Even Rev can't take it. He's like, oh. It's odd for Rev to react like that. I watched a lot of these videos. That's probably like the biggest reaction I've seen him have to something like this.
What are we doing? Are you going to talk about Hassan Piker? Are you going to condemn him for saying America deserved 9/11? Are you going to condemn him for supporting terrorist organizations? Are you going to support him for platforming terrorists on his streams? For saying all kinds of disgusting, out of pocket stuff over and over again? Are you going to call him out? Are you going to censor your past content with him? Are you going to say anything? Because I know you're just like iDubbbz. You discovered empathy at the ripe age of whatever you are. Yeah, I don't know, man. It seems kind of weird that you're singling out Asmongold so hard with this, but you're not saying anything else about other people you have very publicly associated with. This whole thing is a ridiculous mess. And of course, Asmongold, being the guy he is, he's taking the high road. You know, I'm not going to take the high road. I'm going to say stuff here that he might not do, but he says in good spirit about the situation that basically has no hard feelings and he understands. Well, let's listen to it.
In general, like, this is why, like, and you guys may or may not notice this, right? But, like, this is why I've moved a lot away from, like, collabing and doing anything with anybody else, is because I know that obviously a lot of people don't want to be involved with the things that I do. And so to me, I don't view this as like a bad thing, right? Like, it's just the way it is. And so like whether I have like everybody agreeing with me or nobody agreeing with me, that doesn't change the fact of like the way that I feel, right? And it's not gonna like make me feel like I'm a bad person or like upset or anything like that. So
Good on you, Adam, for being above it. Good for you for not falling into the trap they set. Right. He's been better than them by a mile easily. Good on him. And that's the proper response you have, instead of falling into their trap and whatever else they're wanting to do. Oh, yeah.
does that make sense? Tecton is the back. Well, no, you aren't fully censored. I can see your ass in the background. Well, maybe, right? I don't know if that's really me or not. No. I wish that was my hairline, dude. Wake's hair is that's Wake. Wake has way better hair than I do, and no, definitely not. And do you think censoring you is going to highlight it, and make a bigger deal out of it if they just left it alone? Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's up to them. Like they're going to do the video however they want. I mean, like it's not up to me. I don't really care. They do whatever they want. So yeah, in general, like that's how I really feel about it. And so, and this has been the case for a long time, is that like I obviously go over and I do a lot of controversial stuff and I do a lot of edgy stuff. And so I don't ever blame people for not wanting to be involved with it or not wanting to be involved with me because of it. Because the amount of like hate that I get, and like honestly, another person that would understand this is Hassan. I mean, Hassan would understand this the same way. Is that a lot of people probably are.
Now, Hassan might understand it, but I don't think he would take the same route Admin did here. I think that he would attack the person, unlike what Admin does, taking a higher road. I think Hassan would take the lower road and fall for the trap. Now, that's just my personal thoughts on that.
Friendly with Hassan, but they might not want to do things with him publicly because they don't want to put themselves in the crosshairs, right? They don't want to get involved and like, get attacked by all of these people. And so it's the same thing for me, right? Is that a lot of people like, like the amount of people that are like I was like number 8 on YouTube for like the most searched for term. There's a lot of people talking about my content, having opinions about me, etc. And because it's been so it's been so widespread, it puts a lot of pressure on people to not to have a viewpoint on it, right?
Yeah, like I said, he's been a very good sport about this. He's had a sense of humor, and he also added this reply to a related tweet saying, "Very generous of them to give me more teeth in post-production. Never had someone care like that before." And really,
that's a base statement. That's based. Where you go, Admin?
what else is he going to do in this situation other than try to be a good sport about it? Like, I mean, he's kind of put in a very awkward place. But on top of that, just overall, you can see Hassan reacting to this. And this whole thing, as the tweet suggests, stuff like this is why the left keeps losing. This is just, my God. What happened, dude? What happened where people are so sensitive, they see someone...
Well, he appeals to a certain minority, and they keep pushing his agenda, really is what's going on. Like I said, they got thrown in a echo box, right? And I don't know exactly what his, I guess, metrics are, I guess you say, as to what country watches him and stuff. So I imagine he's probably got a lot of the unsavory elements that he promotes watching him a lot, that pushing his stuff. But that's just speculation on my part. I got no hard proof. Just a thought.
That has a different opinion or something they don't agree with, and they have to censor them entirely, and they pretend to care so much publicly, but will still include the person and put a big censor label on them and highlight them even more in a music video they could have just simply reshot or not shared at all. But apparently getting this video out was so important they had to include him with the censor, and it seems again that Asmongold and his subreddit's having a good sense of humor about this, using the new...
Sorry, wrong button. So here's what I was talking about. There's a Reddit group, there's a fan Reddit group, changed the profile picture to the Murloc thing. Oh no! I guess that's a reference to Frogan, Jabba the Hutt. That's funny.
new lizard sensor here as a background. But overall, everything we talked about today is ridiculous. So much drama over complete nonsense. People who refuse to take any accountability for what they say, and also having no self-awareness whatsoever. But hey, that's Twitch. That's the modern internet experience these days, and yeah. So that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Rev.